round two. What's been your message after round one?
We probably cost ourselves decent opportunities. We had a lot of entries that weren't into our forward 50 that weren't as crisp and clean as we would prefer, or to the advantage of our forwards. So a bit of looking back at the vision of that, and hopefully this afternoon, going some way to rectifying it. But I thought our work and intent and pressure around the ball was actually quite good. So we probably cost ourselves with just wasted opportunities.
It's pretty spicy, the competition between the two sides. Are you expecting the same this weekend?
Yeah, well, we haven't played Fremantle for a long time. So last time was here in 22, I reckon. So it's been 3 years, been 4 years since we've been over there to play them. So their team's changed a bit, ours has as well. So yeah, looking forward to that challenge. I know their ground over there is copped a bit of a hammering, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes up. But yeah, looking forward to playing Freo.
I want to ask you about that in a moment, about how long since you've played them. But everyone put up fine after the weekend, so good.
Yeah, I mean Sophie is the obvious one. She went out and played, as did the Hawthorn player. So yeah, she's fine. Few usual lumps and bumps, but nothing that will stop anyone.
You haven't played Freo in a while. Going through the list, I was taking a look at the fixtures and thinking, how do you prepare for a team that you haven't faced in several years?
By looking at a lot of vision, I guess. That's the only proof that we've got at the moment as to what they do. So they had a really good win last week against Port, who I think are a really good emerging young side as well. So credit to Fremantle for getting the victory there. They play a somewhat similar style to us around the ball in terms of pressure on the opposition. So that's a big one. That's going to be one that we'll have to counter a bit. And then hopefully we can, get ascendancy in some of the other areas that we're strong at.
What are those areas that you look at that you
Knew you were going to ask that. I think we've always been a pretty good running side, so in some shape or form we're going to have to get that going. Obviously teams know about that and they try and prevent that from happening, but we've got to be pretty creative and bold with the way we play, and I guess after coming off a loss that we really should have done better in, probably get a bit of our desperate head on as well.
Where do you see their vulnerabilities?
Probably there's some parts of their game that we can exploit, I think, if we play the way that we want to play. Yeah, there'll be some areas there that we can have a look at, but it's probably going to be around what I mentioned before, whether we can get the ball moving the way that we want to move it, as compared to how they do things. So it'll be around that.
When you spoke about the fixture, 2022 was the last time you did face them. Do you find that a bit strange that you don't play everyone every year? I know that the season is a lot shorter. Should there be more games so you do get to play everyone and it is a fair competition?
Well, that's always the obvious answer, and that if you asked any of the players, that's the obvious answer as well. But we're in a competition that's 10 years old in total, but we're playing against some teams that have only been in the comp, like Hawthorn, for 3 or 4 years. So it's taking a while for that to settle. We'll expand over time, and eventually you will play everyone once. But at the moment, the fixture's not bad from that point of view in terms of wherever you finished last year, you tend to play those teams around you more often. And for whatever reason, Fremantle haven't been around our part of the ladder, so I guess we've missed out on playing them. But there's always little quirks in the fixture of who you play and who you don't play. So there's been a handful of teams we've only played once so far. So.
When do you travel to Perth, and how do you tackle such a long haul flight?
Yeah, we normally go 2 days before whenever we go to Perth, so that sort of suits us best to get there 2 days before, use the day in between as our captain's run day, and just a day to prepare physically and get ready to go, and then game day comes around and we're fine. So I think the boys do something similar. So 2 days when we go to Perth. Anywhere else we travel is always the day before, but Perth's a bit different from that angle.
Do you like travelling to Perth?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, as a group, we've had some good success travelling to Perth in recent times. it's a great opportunity for the team to get together and be together for 2, 3, 4 days, and hopefully you get the result done and you can make it a really enjoyable trip.
When you say you looked at a lot of vision of Perth, will you be doing anything different compared to what you did in round 1 to face them?
Yeah, a few bits and pieces. Yeah, because every team's got its own differences and strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, there'll be some things that we'll put into Fremantle that might be a little bit different to Hawthorn.
What are those differences?
Well, you'll have to see when we roll out on Saturday. But yeah, there's some obvious different. I mean, they're a bigger midfield group, Fremantle. So that's sort of one area, I guess. But yeah, you'll see the rest.
And what's been your message to the girls heading into Saturday's clash?
I think we just need to bounce back really quickly. You haven't got a whole lot of time to sit around and wallow in a missed opportunity, and that's really what it was. We actually didn't play too badly. We just missed out on taking our chances when we came forward. So a little bit of connection between mids and forwards, that type of stuff is going to go a long way to helping us get better results. But that's also a function of round 1. When not everything's humming along, and the opposition, to their credit, put a bit of pressure on our ball carriers. So delivery gets compromised when that happens too. So yeah, it's all part of round 1 and the early part of the season.
Do you feel like the cobwebs have been blown out now and focus on the rest of the season?
Well, I don't know yet. Yeah, because it's only we're only coming off our first one, so I don't know. In previous years, I've always thought you can still get results that you want early in the season, but I always feel like we start to hum along a little bit after you get well into the season. So we'll see how long that takes this year.
Prove that in 2023. So
yeah, well, you have your ups and downs, and then you finally work out what the right lineup is and what your best combos are, and the team starts playing better footing and gets used to pressure from opposition teams. So all of that is part of it. Just how long it takes, remains to be seen.
Do you put any time into Newton and Bowers this week? They kind of torn apart a little bit through the middle of the ground. Is there any kind of focus on those two?
Yeah, definitely. Bowers has been a great player in the comp for a long, long time, and she's had some time off and then slots back in seamlessly and gets on with what she's good at, which is high pressure and winning the ball on the inside. So, and Newton's the new one that they've added in the last year or so that's made them stronger in there as well as McCarthy. So they've got a few in there that are going to be handfuls for us, so we're going to be on guard. But, our midfield group is also very strong, so we'll just need to bring our really desperate competitive heads to Saturday's game and make sure that we are able to stand up to that.
Weather in Perth looks like it might be a little bit wet and wild. Does that change anything going into Saturday afternoon?
I don't think so. I think they were talking about the worst weather, a bit like Brisbane, like being in the middle of the week. But I know their ground's copped a hammering with all the waffle footy that gets played on it and the clubs that play there. So they've assured us that it'll be in good enough nick to play on Saturday. But yeah, that'll all be part of just getting used to the environment.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank you. No worries.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Best of luck this weekend.